How much, if at all, should one consider the external factors of what's happening when pursuing other opportunities? As an individual contributor, I know the value that I can bring to an organization. I've been considering a transition to leadership, but we're in times of financial uncertainty. Would it be smart of me to plow forward with trying to make that transition and potentially end up in a situation where I'm deemed less valuable than when I was an IC and exposed to being riffed?
Big question. So, when people ask me these types of questions, I really do like to get a little calibration of their own ambition and, sense of risk takings. But in the absence of that, I'm just going to have to go with how I would feel in this situation and then hope that the listeners can plus or minus based on their own situation. Because what I hear in this question is a very conservative, risk averse take. And I appreciate that because it is true. This market is non-trivial. It's tough. But at the same time, I would ask myself, where is my biggest learning zone? Because at the end of the day, I think your highest value comes when you're learning and growing as an individual. And so I wouldn't necessarily say don't take a leadership role. I would absolutely say, hey, where is the value in the leadership role, that opportunity that might be available to you? And is that value tied to something that's structurally critical for the business? So instead of making it just about you, make it about the opportunity, but absolutely pushing forward to a growth zone, because no matter what, it's the growth that helps you have confidence in the contribution that you make to an organization. In other words, I don't think it's safer to just stay as a contributing IC if you're not growing. I think that's a risk zone as well. And so I would encourage you, if you are feeling the opportunity to do something new, I would encourage you to really pursue that, but pursue that in an envelope that protects you from potential downside, because you can always go back to being an IC, but getting opportunities to step into a leadership role really are hard to get. And so making sure that the one that you take is tied to something that's important to the business and that has the right sponsorship, and making it clear probably to the leadership team that that you're in this to be the most valuable employee you can be, and that you're willing to adapt as the business needs adapt. I think that can create a better safety net for you than just staying with your head down.
I'm going to turn a little bit back to you, the the asker of the question, and kind of question a little bit about your motivation in terms of being a leader. Is this something that you have wanted to do for a long time? Is this something that you're passionate about? Is this something that you've been working towards for a while and have been doing, non-managerial leadership work to do that? Like, is this something that means a lot to you? And I guess that is related to what Meg was saying in terms of, like, is that a growth? Is that a learning zone for you? Because if it is, then I would say go for it. Now, on the other hand, there's a lot of reasons to become a leader that are not motivated by passion and love for leadership, and it's more about just getting a promotion of, the external value system of, a leader is better, or, making more money, or what have you. Like, if it's all kind of wrapped up in that, but it's not really this sense of like, oh, I want to lead, then, I would say maybe not, right? Maybe you can look at ways to to take on different IC opportunities that, again, get you into those growth and learning zones. So I think you need to really think about, is this, where is this in my heart? The other side of it is kind of back to the risk taking, and then kind of your own financial situation, your own risk. I mean, so like Meg said, it sounds a bit like you have family obligations, you have financial obligations that make you worried. So you probably need to just, regardless at this time, I think it's really important to look at your financial situation and to see, what kind of leeway you have, because you're not safe anyway, right? Like, you never know what's going to happen. So I think it's good mentally to be thinking like, well, what if I were laid off tomorrow? What would the world look like for me? And let's assume that I'm not going to get a job for the next 12 to 24 months even. I mean, that's what we're like, what would I need to do? And to put yourself into that mental space in order to kind of get out of this like nervous, fear-based view of things and allow you to follow your heart and your dreams.
Hey, so this is a plug to watch the financial freedom episode as well, because I think this is the most important piece of advice. So two things you said, Amy, that I feel like are really worth doubling down. You should never go into a manager job for status or prestige. You should go into a manager job because you believe you have something to contribute as a manager, and you're signing up to build the skill to do that work, because it's a very different job and a very different skill. So for sure, I'm completely in alignment with you, Amy. If that is not your motivation for considering it, then you shouldn't be doing it anyway, because the world does not need more mediocre managers, right? So if you're going to do it for the right reasons. And then for sure, everybody right now should be looking at your own financial situation to give yourself confidence and stability and options going forward, because none of us can say for sure what's going to happen professionally for any of us going forward. And we're all better off for not being at the mercy of the markets right now, but instead being able to really grow and to contribute in the way that makes the most sense for us. So great advice, Amy Wilson.